Hi guys, DIGIHILL here once again, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a traditional style pop art picture. Now you may have seen pop art being used, particularly popular on Facebook. If you have a look at your friends, you may have images similar to this. Now this is really simple. Personally I don't like this sort of style. It's just duplicating a single image and changing the hue balance. I'm going to show you how to make a decent one. So we're going to take a JPEG, like so. I'm just going to put it into Photoshop. Fantastic. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is make an adjustment layer. So if you just see the little toolbar down the bottom here, you get all your options of adjustments. But what we want to make is a threshold. Okay, fab. So for the first threshold, what we want to bring out is the hair highlights. At the moment you can see it's pretty much all black. We can't see a lot of detail in the hair. So I'm just going to slide it and I'm pretty happy. Alright, let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's good. Okay, great. So what we're going to do now is go back to the background. Down here once again like we just did. For another adjustment layer. And another threshold layer. Okay. But this time we're doing it for the eyes. Okay, so just have a bit of a play until you're happy. Okay, I'm happy with the eyes like this. Fab. And now you can see the hair has lost a lot of detail once again. It's pretty black. So what we're going to do is come over here and we're going to grab a paintbrush and make sure our swatch is black. Okay, so on the eye threshold layer, what you want to do is make sure it's selected and not on the background. It's just paint with the brush. As you can see, it's bringing out all the detail in the hair. So we've got the best of both. We've got the eye detail and we've got the hair detail. Just quickly do that. If you prefer, you can use a soft edge brush, but I much prefer the hard edge brush. To make sure we eliminate all the overcast detail. Fab. Okay, so we're going to repeat the process. Adjustment, threshold. This one's going to be for the mouth and the nose. Pretty much a little bit more facial detail. So we're going to do the same as before. Paint black. But this time we're going to cover the eyes as well. Okay. What you want to do is be a little bit more careful around here where you want to keep the detail. And then just get rid of this. And as you can see, we're already starting to form a nice image. Got some nice detail in the eyes, in the hair, also in the mouth. Take the time to zoom and have a smaller brush if needed. Just to make sure we're getting some nice edges in. Give it this strenuous detail. I mean, it is pop art, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Don't afraid to be sloppy. If you look at many old pop art paintings then, as such, by Andy Warhol, a lot of them, the colours are not within the lines, don't follow the lines of the lips, of the eyes. So it hasn't got to be perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this pretty quickly for you. You should see it starting to take shape. Okay, I'm just going to come over here, up by the nose, across by the eyes. I mean, if you're trying it yourself, you'll probably want to take a bit more time in this process than what I'm doing. I'm just flying through it pretty quickly. Small brush, so we can get in by the piercing here, follow the shape up around the mouth. And up by the eyes. Okay. Okay, so we've got quite a lot of detail going. What you want to do, sometimes you'll have a little bit of odd bit of detail. Like this strand of hair here. When you zoom in, you can see it's part of the head, but when you zoom in out, it just looks like a random bit of detail. So for that, go into the background image, use the eraser, and just get rid of it. And it's gone. Next step, new layer. Make sure we put the new layer on the top. Okay. What you need to do now, this could be quite tricky, is find a skin colour. What I usually do is come down around between yellow and red. So I'm almost at a peachy orangey colour. And slide along the top. So I've got more of a peachy colour. I can bring it down a bit. Fab. Like I said before, it doesn't have to be perfect. It is digital art. Okay. What we need to do for layer 1 is change from normal to multiply. Okay. Let's get a decent brush. A little bit bigger. Okay, so this is going to be our skin colour. So what we're going to do, let's just go over the skin. Just watch the hair, watch the eyes. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be a little sloppy. Okay. The mouth is the trickiest. I mean, you should be able to see for yourself, it's already starting to take a bit of shape. Okay, so you can fly through this bit here, like this. Don't worry if you get overlap the hair or the eyes. I'll overlap on purpose so I can show you what we're going to do next. Okay, use a smaller brush now. Alright, let's just have a like around here. Fab. So now, I select white. And we can shape the eyes then. Like so. And if you overlapped on the lips, that's not an issue. And on parts of the hair. Fab. Okay. Let me just zoom out so we can have a better look. Great. So now I'm going to move on to the hair. And for the hair, it doesn't necessarily have to be the same colour as your subject's hair. For example, my subject's hair is more of a brunette. But I'm going to choose more of a blonde colour. Okay, this should do a nice bright colour. So again, we're just going to paint over the hair. Make sure you're still on layer 1. So let's give this a go. And as you can see, it's looking pretty nice. Don't worry about the edges. I know we've lost some detail, but just colour it in as you imagine the hair would be. Like so. Okay. Alright. You guys will probably take a little bit more time in colouring in than what I'm doing. Okay. Doesn't matter if you overlap the skin. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a fine example of an actual pop art picture. Alright. Okay, so there's the hair. Sometimes you'll see more detail where the subject's been wearing a top, and you can see some spare detail. So if you want, for example, I'm just going to use blue. I'm just going to paint over blue here. These little bits of detail over here too. Bit of blue. Fantastic. Alright, so that's the hair done. Now we can move on to the mouth. Okay. When doing the lips, sometimes you do have a nice toothy grin. And like I done earlier with the eyes, you make sure you paint the teeth white. But I'm pretty lucky with this one. So I'm going to bother with the teeth, I can just go straight for the lips. Okay. And when doing the lips, pick a nice bright colour. You can pick whatever colour you want. I mean, you don't have to be boring like me. And just pick standard red lips. If you want, you can pick blue lips. Or any zany colour. Let's give us a okay. Okay, so look at that. Brilliant. Now what I would recommend doing, obviously we've got a nice plain background. Paint the background the same colour as what you got the lips. So we haven't got too many colours all competing with each other. So I'm just going to pick a nice size brush. Okay. Don't be afraid to do a little bit of overlapping. Like I said, you probably spend more time than me. Before you know, you'll end up doing this until it's second nature. Okay, and this will look, the finished result will look a lot better than just the standard change of the colour palette. This is more of a traditional pop art. Like you see many websites, like I've seen a few, that you can pay, you submit photos, and you can pay for them to turn it into pop art. And most of the time all they do is actually duplicate your photograph and just tint. Say you duplicate 4 times, 6 times, and they just tint every layer a different colour. But why pay for something like that when you can create your own? Okay, so when I'm done with that, it's time for a bit of zooming in, because we're going to have a look at a bit of the detail and the jagged edges. I'm just going to show you smoothing them out here. Alright. That's great. Alright, okay. So we got the gist of the image. What we're going to do now, click on your background layer. If you right click, no, don't want a new layer. If you right click, you should see flatten image. Now flatten image is going to merge all our layers and our adjustment layers into one picture. And there it is. Okay, so you could just have the full portrait, or you can go to image, go to your canvas size. I'm just going to show you an example of 4 images together. So we're going to change the dimensions to %, and make sure your width and your height are both 200%. And use the top left arrow to anchor it in position. Okay. Alright, so if I zoom out, you can see I've got my image in the corner, and then a big blank bit of canvas. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just zoom up a little bit. I'm going to nab this part of the image. Like so, that'll do me. Okay, so we're going to copy that. Just zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. And we're going to paste it. Alright, so you may think, alright, I pasted it, where is it? It's not here. if you just drag it across, here it is, layer 1. So we're going to slot layer 1 right next to the background. We're going to paste again. We're going to put this one in the bottom left hand corner. Paste yet again, right hand corner. Okay, you might think, oh yeah, there's 4 images, but they're all the same color. Right. If you look at layer 1, layer 2, layer 3 background, you can see where they're positioned on your canvas. So layer 1, if you go to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation. So hue is going to play with our color mix. Alright. So I'm going to change it to a funky green color. And if it's a bit overpowering for you, you can always lower the saturation, like so. Or if it's not vivid enough for you, you can put it up. But I'm happy with around 0. Alright. So layer 2, repeat the process. Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation. Let's try and get more of a blue color. I think that was the best one, was it? Yeah, there we go. Nice blue background and purple hair. Fab. Finally, layer 3, we can do the same again. This time I'm going to have, I think I'll have a yellow. Alright. I'm going to boost the saturation on this one. So I fill in the shadows around the nose, around the mouth. Alright, so same as before, we're going to click on our background layer, we're going to right click, and we're going to flatten the whole thing. Like I said earlier, keep the background color the same as the lips, and you can see why. If we'd add the lips a different color, like for example, an original image, background's red, the lips are red. When we change the hue in layer 1, we got green background, green lips. In 2 is blue background, blue lips, and in 3, yellow background, yellow lips. Alright. What you want to do now, if you're using quite a large image like I was using, bear in mind you've just stuck 4 of these together, so your picture is going to be pretty massive. So if you go to Image and Image Size and percent, change the dimensions to percent. I think 30 should do it. Okay, so we've got 30% width, 30% height. So the image is only going to be 30% the size of what it originally was. And it's still going to be big. And there it is. So as always, we're going to save it. Pop art as a JPEG. Okay. If you have a look here, there's my image. Okay, so here's the standard one, and here's my one. Which I think is pretty cool. Whereas these, no, you don't want these. You want to be a little bit more creative. And whatever you do, don't pay anybody to make a pop art image for you. Don't pay any websites to make a pop art image for you, because I've just shown you how to make your own pop art image. And that's that. Thanks for watching my tutorial, guys, and I hope to see you next time. Ta-da.